You see a heavy steel door.
The purity of snow always reminds me of the purity of a man's soul, if he's got principles. Ah, yes! King Philip III!
Oh, absolutely. At the mercy of a
Cocaine? Cocainum? Sounds like our kind.
A superpower, feared and respected. A testament to what this country can be under the leadership of a true king. Someone who knows how to rule. Decisively, without fear of offending the sensibilities of the frail and weak-minded among his subjects. This is something the insurgents never understood. Revachol would be a different place if more people realized that. We could still...
Don't get started on that again. What happened, happened.
The Carabinier doesn't reply, but his entire being communicates.
Oh, old Philip was a big fan of the purple nose candy the nobility loved so much. A cocaine connoisseur of sorts. His egocentricity.
You can't even take the responsibility for yourself. How could you fathom the response? That's why the Philippian kings use cocaine. For clarity of vision. To aid in their work. Regnum cocainum.
I'm satisfied with this.
Of course. Clarity of vision. Oh.
Philip III was even brought into this world with the help of cocaine. The court medic administered a dose to his mother when she was in labor.
Higher realms. Of course. It all makes sense.
It's really not. Please, do spare us the...
Yes, indeed. We're not here to investigate the drug trade.
But imagine, purest cocaine. Now that would make you feel like a king. Not that you can afford it, but what about...
Right. Yes, the Debardeurs Union pays me to stand vigil during the nights. Not out of any... I'm an old man. Don't sleep more than a few hours every night anyway, and... money is tight. Yes, it does. Unfortunately, I wasn't working that night. Been on a 2-week leave since... It's a private matter.
You see, officer, René is the kind of man who would rather die than admit he needs medical...
I'm fine, goddammit! Mind your own business! No one. The bus has been unmanned since last Monday. There's no other girl.
No one has been guarding the container yard since...
Yes! It's...
Look, officer. The container yard doesn't actually need a guardsman. Never had one before, René. Monsieur Claire...
The possibility of someone being in there is enough to discourage any ill-minded individual.
Evrard created this job for René because he knows the Royal Carabiniers' pension of honor and PTSD isn't something a man can live off. A decorated kingsman collecting tear reflects bad on the whole neighborhood. His words.
Look, officer, can we conclude the topic of my guard bus now? She is nobody. This is none of your concern.
The lady is Jeanne-Marie Beaulieu, and she sure as hell wasn't a nobody.
Yes, like I said, it would be up anyway. So might as well keep an eye out. It keeps my senses sharp.
All you observe.
This is the uniform of the Royal Carabiniers in...
Don't you mean Frisk?
You do not speak his name, Craven. Although he was a clown.
There's something you missed. You will get to it. Don't.
Yes? Hello? Me? No one. I'm just...
She doesn't really want to be disturbed. If she's such a working-class woman, why isn't she?
Not all the time. Right now I'm browsing books. Even a working-class woman needs some... It is. I know you are.
Everyone can see that. The rectangles.
What with?
What with? A lot of things. For example, people tend to go missing. Her hands move over the book covers. The tips of her fingers look rough. An array of neurons fire up with joy.
No, I don't. Why do you think that I smoke? It's not like yours look much better.
She is right. Your hands look even worse than hers. These are the hands of someone who's smoked for at least 20 years.
I already told you I don't have any. Go bother someone else. From the kiosk? There's one near the harbor. It's a free...
She sighs.
My husband? No, he's not. I don't know. At home now?
Where is this going, officer?
Yes, but... I don't really need to know where my husband... No. Of course he's not. It's not like he's a pocket watch. I wouldn't just lose him. I don't mean to disrespect, sir, but you...
For what it's worth, I agree. But cockatoos can't be stopped when they get like this. It's better...
Nothing. Go read up on them if you're so into...
Maybe you should. What if the cockatoo is your astral captain? Or your heraldic bird?
Please, let's do. No, absolutely not. Are you a policeman or a nanny? They are not missing...
You know where they are. They're at home, smoking.
What? That's just... My daughters are perfectly fine. They're almost grown up now anyway. They're past the age they need me protecting them from everything now.
The woman... There. Working class drunk. You know what this means, right? Cracked it. All in a good day's work. What do you mean, what did I crack? Look at how working class that drunk is. No. Stop goofing around. No, it's not. Yes. And you found him. Now go and tell the working... Do marriages make any sense? Does honor? You're not a filthy philosopher. You're an officer, not honorable recruit. All around you, rain falls on the great city of... The spring thaw must be here. The snow is melting. Looking up at the sky, cold water dripping from your hat. Grey sky like great battleships, clouds colliding with one another. Humid. Your coat shields you from the rain. Sheets of rain over the water. A flight of stairs leading into the ruins of a half-sunken sea fort crumble on an inlet beyond the Bay of Revachol. Ghosts, the skyscrapers of La Delta. Will you ever go there? No, you are just one of the hundreds of thousands who watch them rise across the urban coastline, rain dripping off Eternite-covered roofs, cinder blocks left over from half-finished construction, a defunct research and development building, Coal City, end of all lines. Your hair is an oily mess flecked with ash from neighboring coal plants. Smokestacks ride. The great gates of the industrial harbor are locked. A chill runs down your back. You shudder like an animal. Behind the gates, heaps of supply crates, red and blue metal shipping containers. La Drusienne, King Dries passenger harbor. Cruise, Couronne, the lower middle class. A silvery curtain of rain over the houses. The class Capeside apartments. Tower blocks crowd one another. 4.46mm hallways collapse from the mortar hits of a war that was lost long ago. Clothesline, a yard. Rain falls onto the roof of a woodshed. A traffic jam. Rain thrumming on the roofs of motor vehicles. The road ascends. A raised motorway loops above the ghetto. Beneath its concrete columns, a sea of rooftops.
Have a brother in the cut. Where the wood at?
To be in Martinez, where no one goes. Standing in the rain, looking north, where Jamrock Rock City stretches. In the rain-swept distance, above the rooftops of Jamrock, your vision blurs. You wipe your face with your hand. Coalition-era statics hang like apparitions under the cloud cover.
This rain will not let up anytime soon. At least we are dressed for it. Let's keep moving.
Droplets of rain fall on the white on blue police livery. Do something important? Something murder-related? There's always something. This is a Caprice Canema, the Caprice Motor Corps follow-up to their highly successful with its air-cooled, rear-mounted 12-cylinder compression ignition engine, driving the rear wheels through a 4-speed manual gearbox. The Canema is able to reach 100. The high center of balance is offset by a large battery bank mounted at the bottom of the cabin. Due to a quite steep price tag, it is very unusual to see one in police livery.
You want to take a closer look? 130.
I reckon that's a 7-liter V12 there.
7.2. Supercharged. You mean the coil noise? When variable current passes through wires that make up the coils on the electrical system on this, when the frequency of the current in the coils falls within the audible range,
What a binoclard.
I have pretty much maintained my vehicles by myself ever since one was assigned to me. You inevitably pick up some knowledge on the way. Yes, an extraordinary machine.
It's nice and all, but why so modest? Put some helium headlights would improve the range and quality of the visual field a lot.
Actually, I have a pair at home. Just haven't gotten around to fitting them yet. I need to lay some wiring for the ballast first. Maybe. Yes, definitely maybe.
There's a pile of cheap sunglasses in a small box.
You like sunglasses, officer? I've got the latest styles right here.
Abort. These are hideous. What's more, they don't even fit you.
Damn, officer! You look like a mega secret spy. Very secret.
They're perfect for concealing your bloodshot and baggy eye. It's going to be very difficult for anyone.
No, you are definitely not buying those.
Are you sure? But they look so good on you.
These are all boring. Boring third rate.
These are all first-rate sunglasses. Premium design, superb material, very cool. UV resistant.
No luck.
Oh, that visor is perfect for you, officer.
Hey, at least it might actually offer some protection against the sun. Not like those cheap plastic shades.
I hope not.
You don't like it? Sure, Square Joe. Nope.
You see two lowly, defeated speakers, thralls, slaves basically, perched atop them like
I can see you with taste for luxury.
a pair of found ultras. The design is impossibly sleek.
Those sneakers, mister. Those sneakers are the latest found sneakers.
Only that's madness. Fun ultra. We're the future. You remember the slogan from these once respectable speakers have been conquered.
No, don't look at the speakers, officer. Look at the sneakers. Then look at them again. These are the premium lives. No way, officer. These aren't for sale. They're bad speakers. Low-fi socialist junk. That's right, officer. You're a high-class policeman who...
You see a Samaran street vendor surrounded by a motley assemblage of goods. The name Sileng is in...
Happy shopping, officer. Everything's cool.
From out on the bay, a cool wind gathers. It sweeps into the city.
You're very cool. Bang, 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 bang. You're right, officer. 100%. No playing around then. Only the coolest goods in Revachol. I've got sneakers, speakers, extremely good joke, officer.
You glance around the decrepit buildings, the miserable weather.
It's beautiful. Beautiful freedom.
It is, yes. Anyone can set up their shop.
That's right. No permits, no bureaucracy. That's why this city...
If you wanted to be cynical about it, you could say we are here to protect the interests of property holders.
My man, officer, you make all this possible.
Gossamer is a fine, filmy substance consisting of cobwebs spun by small spiders, seen especially in autumn. It's safe to say he's referring to the near absence of regulations.
Yeah, cool ruins. I get to sell quality goods like these by cutting out the middlemen. You don't have to rebuild your house. I'm an entrepreneur, officer. I've got sources, buyers, suppliers, no need for discounts at ceilings, officer. Anything for you. Me? It's a boring story, officer. Who cares about the past?
This man probably comes from Seaguy, sometimes known as the Apricot Suzerainty.
Sea guy, apricot suzerainty. It's all the same to me. It's all cool. I'm interested in sales.
There are clothes inside.
Don't be shy.
You find your hands deep in tattered and faded garments.
Economical, but also trendy. Look firsthand.
No good. All you can come up with are some
No luck? Why not take an...
Stuck in the rain in a traffic jam, man. Nope, don't smoke. Some of the other drivers do, though. There's still a few around, waiting for the jam to disperse.
Yup, nothing wrong with that statement.
You could also check the kiosk down the street. Frit. With 3 T's.
The woman still.
Right to work! Right to...
So, how'd you like our harbor? It's but a rest area on the path leading across open plains. Right. You talk to the boss, eye to eye, like men of the plain. If you have any more questions, I'm... A key, huh? What door is this key supposed to open? Oh, say no more. I got you. I got that key right here. And let me tell you, it's mighty good of you to help us out during the strike. Working class solidarity, as they say. Oh, so the none of the above type, are you? I get it, I get it. I like to... What you're looking for is a basement door behind the greenhouse. That's behind the wailing in rags. That's all I know. Our organization is what you call compartmentalized. Means we keep out of each other's business.
Okay, but where did you get the key?
The janitor gave it to me. Nice fella. We talked about life and things. None of this mess we're in. This jiving and juggling. What's it for? I'm more of a philosophical dock worker. I like to talk about the big picture stuff. Who I am, who you are.
Who he is? Ask him about the Hardy Boys.
Los Ardis? They're an independent militant group. They're sort of like you. Preserve the rule of law and all that. Except it's Everard's law. But really, they're just like you. We're negotiating our share. Aye. This stuff, they already covered. Never grateful. Were we ever grateful, we'd have nothing. You fight for every piece. All of it. However, right now we want all the harbor workers to be on the company's board. So that, no. I don't think I'm a communist. Seeing something of value and saying I want it all, even a weak child can think it. The only things holding someone back are I can't and I shouldn't. Then how can anything ever be mine? But that's okay. We don't have to agree. I think it's best you make up your own mind now that you've met him. In my eyes, he is a capable organizer and a decent business. I guess you kind of get to be the village chief. He oversees the harbor, makes deals with the owners or other...
By that, you mean corruption?
By heavens, why would he not be corrupt? We live in a harsh and disordered world, see? The old man is corrupt for our benefit, and we know it. Appreciate it even. He is reasonably lavish, sure. That's his prerogative. It's not like you want a saintly demeanor on a corrupt... Besides, there are no non-corrupt systems in the world anyway. And moralism is the most corrupt of them all. Sure, I've had the necessary free time. Fortunately, there's always time.
The look in his brown eyes conjures up an understanding. For him, it all comes together now. The way he speaks about scabs, his general attitude. He's that of a noble peasant or a traveling herd. No. No. The man sits on the railing, his hands reaching far and wide. Yet it feels as if he could effortlessly go even one.
The mercenary, eh? Who could have killed him? That's indeed the question. Why even do such a thing? What a thought! Why would noble workers resort to such a thing? You're a dead guy. was an enemy. He was an agent of the opposition, attempting to undermine our... I ain't the murdering type, but that's just me. Large organizations like our union have all sorts of men, with all sorts of...
Understood. This has been of limited use.
No problem. I wish the best to you in your search. Sure, I'm glad it's not my search.
What's this? We're getting reports of normal, reasonable, temperate political opinions somewhere in Martinez. The air suddenly feels calmer, more transparent in a strangely tender way. It's time to become a citizen of the Kingdom of Conscience. It is not a place. It is a moment in time that can only arise in the right circumstances. In increment. Yawn. You'd get there faster with a little. Speaking of, when are you going to get... History's greatest catastrophes have been brought about by people... That's the genius of Dolores Day. She recognized that progress is meaningless if its gains are lost because of instability. Real, lasting change. Tisk tisk. Just because you live in the present doesn't mean you have the right to place your... You may never live to see the Kingdom of Conscience. Your children may not. What sang-froid? What a fucking joke. Do you believe the status quo is preferable to chaos? There you have it. Sometimes holding the line is progress. The kingdom is difficult to comprehend, partly because humanity will need to discard many of the categories that define and limit it today. The Kingdom of Conscience is, it's also post-industrial, post-ideological, and slow down, Mr. Reasonable. That's right. Remember.
No.
He's got a smoke right there, in his fucking hand. Snatch that.
It's my last one. Why would I do that? I'm an honest man. I bet. Sorry I couldn't be of any help. Oh man, that's great. Look at that. God damn. Thanks for that, but no, it's not mine.
You see several packaged raincoats fill a low shelf beneath a display of croissants and juice bottles. The packages are small, discreet, sloppily stacked, making them easier to take unnoticed. No need to worry about knocking over a display.
What is what? If you want to buy one, then it's only 4 real.
Her attention is drawn to the raincoats. Stealing one undetected will now be more.
Is this about the questions again? Because I don't really know anything. A warehouse? I don't know. Maybe.
She looks up from...
Fine. For it doesn't have a warehouse. Just a little back room here. Okay?
Reality.
She is like a student unexpectedly called upon by a teacher.
I don't know. What about we're in Frit? As mankind?
What will her...
In a good place.
I mean, science is doing great. And this...
Cool.
The tear machine stands in the corner. A sign says, your bottles clunk into the machine and the money appears. Do you know what you should do with that money, kiddo? You see a set of tire tracks in the brown slush that cover. There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated to that corpse smell, emitting it. Just an ordinary wall. This must be it. The basement door is weather-worn. The copper nails holding the upholstery in place have turned green from sea air, and the leather upholstery is worn and rough against your jaw. In fact, it's oddly silent in the yard around. You knock silently. The upholstery...
I guess no one is in? Let's be honest. This isn't what I joined the RCM for, but every day tells you something. Apparently, working with the local union boss to get info on an investigation is not something I'm screaming. I mind that the local thug is using the RCM for his busy work. But if this gets us to... On the other hand, we could just leave and tell Evrart we opened the door. No one seems to be tailing us to... Yes, presenting a fabrication is known to get results here and there. You took this task.
The door is right here. You can just open. Besides, if you never open it, you're never going to find out what's behind the door. You try to be as silent as you can. It takes a bit of rattling of the hand. Finally, the door unlocks with a small... There's nothing else to do than to leave and tell Evrart. No, as you hold the open door, you can feel the air. A row of mugs sits on the shelf. Each one depicts a human figure. A dark-skinned woman, grinning a little ring. Though cheerful, the images on the ceramic make you... There's something disdainful in the way the curves and... It looks like the artist is celebrating diversity. But underneath, he's just making fun of these people. You ain't gonna change someone's mind by... The lieutenant picks up one of the mugs. Then...
I'm beginning to feel better about breaking into this man's apartment.
Yes, your broken mug friend would feel very much at home here.
There's the missing tin soldier. Whoever lives here might have used the Whirling's container, and now they've drawn the ire of the Union.
An interesting little clue. Let's see where this goes. Clues have a way of perhaps you should break into apartments more often.
Who knows? I'm not expecting too much from this clothes in the trash lead either way. It might turn out to be some random local matter, but still, a nice coincidence.
This is the flag of Revachol, the suzerain. This isn't just one sun, but there are little suns dancing around the big sun. It's an optical atmospheric anomaly the first settlers saw. Happens in cold weather. 6 small suns around the big one. This complex halo phenomena is how
The tenant is an old-fashioned guy.
The flag doesn't seem to mind. It's just a colorful fabric. file cabinet stands the drawer. The already familiar cold touch of plastic welcomes you. Your fingers run over the dial pad. 005. Calling. Calling. Still calling.
Video Revachol, 24-hour video rental. We rent 8 and 10mm film for home use. This is Lummy. How may I help you? Video Revachol is a 24-hour video rental. We rent 8 and 10mm. Sir, I don't know. It's a video rental. Maybe you rent video. No. Maybe you called to extend your rental period? Do you need to extend your rental period? Let me fire up the machine. Dubois. Dubois. Here we are. You haven't rented anything in 5 years, but you still have a copy of Blue Ocean Hell from November 46. It's not an easy watch. After the death of his daughter and subsequent divorce, Ziemsk immigrant, no wonder no one's been missing it. Still, it would be great if you could return it to us. We're on the corner of Voyager and Maine.
On the corner of Voyager and Maine, a large neon sign hangs on the side of a building. Video Revachol. Tiny heels tiptoeing down the road. Beautiful steps. Suddenly you feel like you don't want to hear about video rentals anymore. You don't want to hear about any of it.
That's enough for you today. Let's conclude this call.
Volumetric ship compressor. Bizarre scientific news from Revachol West today, where a police officer's shit has been observed at a...
Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as always. You don't have to sit down this time, since you've already... What? Harry, how could you say that to me? You know I appreciate a joke as much as any jolly fat guy, but I can't take slander. Are you actually investigating this? You've hurt me, Harry. Me, a friend. I trust you, like I trust all my friends. And I know you'll never talk to me about this again.
Thank you for your understanding. We will.
You too, Lieutenant. You know...
None taken. Did we have anything else to do here, Harry?
I'm very glad to hear that, Harry. One question. You didn't actually happen to stumble in and see what's inside the apartment, did you? Just as I thought. Culturally antiquated mug collection. What a weasel. Pissed. Now let's get down to brass tacks. It's time for men like me and you to figure out who's killed who and why. Real police work is gonna start happening now. I promise you, Harry, this is gonna be good. By now, I'm sure you've figured out who the dead man was working for. The bad guys. Harry, this strike is the culmination of many, many mistakes made by the Wild Pine...
You mean our victim?
A security contractor. Can you imagine that? Workers standing in peaceful protest, united in the spirit of fellowship.
He performs a motion as if spraying.
I'm talking beasts. Hardened killers from proxy wars in Yesut, Seminine, Sarah. Everything they did there, they brought over here. They want to turn Revachol into a third world slum. Honestly, the only thing they didn't know, Harry, the elephant is metaphorical, and so is the village. Now, I haven't personally witnessed the brutalities out there. I have the luxury of staying in my container, you see. If I need to go somewhere, they just move my container. Yes, I'm an old man, Harry. My legs aren't what they used to be. They lift my office with... But enough about me and my fun container. The killers the company hired, I think there were 3 of them. One of them got downright suicidal. Getting drunk, violent, a little rapey. Even their own negotiator couldn't control him. That's your...
By negotiator, you mean judge?
Harry, what you need to realize is, we dock workers are not we got grit, Harry. This whole neighborhood does. Push us hard enough and we push back. And when we do, we push to... Potentially, Harry, potentially. We got arm wrestling champions, rowing club people, There's a militant wing inside the Union. A group of people whose duties don't involve manual labor, but peacekeeping in the name...
That sounds a bit like...
They're like you guys. Idealistic people who want to make sure bad things don't happen. And if they already have, well, punishment must follow.
Again, that sounds like organized crime.
So these idealists...
One day Titus Hardy, leader of this peacekeeping faction, comes up to me and says, "Boss, socialist democratic fervor drove..." He probably worded it differently, but that was the idea. Sure sounded to me like they killed him. I gave them 2 weeks paid leave and told them to lay low to avoid retaliation.
Aren't you worried we might arrest them for this?
Oh, I'm not at all worried about that. These are not the kind of men who get arrested. They're Martinez boys, tough and gritty. I'd like to see the man who takes them in. Besides, I sent my lawyer girl to look after them. Racist mugs in the trash and in the apartment? You guys are just light years ahead of... I have so much confidence in the ability of your organization. I'm relieved you're doing this and leave.
Yes, yes. Do you think this weasel is somehow...
Oh, no. I don't cross paths like that. All I want is for you to succeed in your investigation. I would never... Believe me, Harry, he's a nobody. Just your basement variety nobody. But he does live nearby. Maybe it's a pedantic weasel. Fascists are known to be neat freaks. I feel like a real detective right now, Harry. Am I getting this right?
Would he? I'm not so sure.
Oh, you're too kind, Harry. Way too kind. I know I'm not a real police officer. You are. How do I know? Let me tell you about these people. That's their Last winter, some poor workers in Terminal E went on a little strike. The company sent in sediment as security. These guys turn up and start beating people. Tell you what, Harry, I wouldn't be surprised if we got the same mercenary company. After a little rebranding, and I...
So you believe the scabs were organized by the security...
You said it. Hell, one of those guys looks big enough to take down that proverbial elephant. Boys like that don't...
That does sound quite unlikely, yes. The big guy leading the scabs at the gate is colossal.
Oh, Liz is a bright one. I paid for that law degree myself, thinking it'll probably turn her all fancy. But hell, Harry... She came back a firebrand socialist. Sometimes she's... Oh, they are simply fine young men. All 7 of them. Exemplary union. Old Theo used to run them, but things really kicked into gear when Titus took the reins and named the group after himself.
Interesting. Who's second in command?
They're almost all of them great guys, born leaders. Whatever happened, I'm sure they work with them. Hell, interview them. But don't fight them. They really are just like you. Men who like beer, women, and some order on the streets. But of course, it's the least I can do for my good friend Harry. I'll do it right after we've concluded.
You can now go and tell Titus about this. See what he has.
Also, Harry, here's 5 real. I'm not giving you anything. I'm just holding out 5 real.
The lieutenant watches you pocket the banknote.
Good boy. A real team player. Now, do you have any more questions? Was it a good tour? I'm not sure we made much headway here. I was hoping we'd bust the case wide open. Heck, I don't know what happened, Harry. I wanted you to feel like Mr. Martinez. And of course, I also wanted you to find your gun. But it's like Yes, Harry. It's like I can't fully trust you if you're not a man of the left.
A man of the left. So you have to be a social... He's been hurt too much in the past by men who aren't social democrats.
Just between us, I don't care for those lefty dinks either. It's all about power and...
Kingsman, yes.
And what would this entail?
Once again, I require nothing unethical or illegal of you. You just need to get 2 little signatures on this piece of paper, and then mail it to my accountant in La Delta.
It depends. I don't think what we just got from Mr. Clare.
But, he thinks, it's you.
As I said, it weighs on me heavily. But once we get really talking, well, I'm going to hand you the keys to Martinez, and maybe even help you figure out who's behind this killing. I'm glad you asked, Harry. The Union is going to build a modern youth centre in Martinez. It will be righteous. We're gonna get those teenagers off drugs. There's a nameless little street on the coast with some old houses around it. Most people have already signed. I just need 2 on the coast, Harry, across the canal. There's a cul-de-sac there, a little village they're calling it. A gloomy...
Water drips from the eaves. A woman looks at her freshly tarred skiff. There's a pair of cavalry boots under the fish in the box.
They are just going to have to deal with the construction noise for 6 months, and then they'll be living like kings. Right next to a fancy new youth centre. You bring joy to my heart, Harry. Such a pleasure to be working. You need to get signatures from Isabel Sadie and Lillian Carter. The cul-de-sac is right past the pawn shop and across the canal. I hear there is some trouble. Once you have the signatures, mail this to 13022 La Rocca in La Delta. Then I'll know you're a real Kingsman and a patriot. Yes, yes. My best men are tracking it down. What's that, Harry? You're getting a little pale. Is it? Most certainly, Harry. Nothing brightens my day like brainstorming these... By all means, Harry. What's on your mind? I don't know what that means, Harry. Shady brew? You know what? Don't even tell me. Whatever it is, do it. Surprise me.
He sincerely has no idea what you were talking about. And he doesn't care either.
Oh, that's very nice. I haven't gotten around to her yet. I'm very, very busy, you see. One thing I want to make very clear, Harry, is that this is not some kind of union versus... We're all trying to do what's best for Martinez. Don't feel like you can't cooperate with her because you and I are such good friends and I'm helping you find your lost gun. I'm not a jealous guy. What do you mean, Harry? Nothing. I let him go. He's an old man, Harry. I wanted him to spend more time with his family. God knows... Harry! I have little people in my organization. Honestly, I'm beginning to think you're a midget, Harry. I'm only kidding, Harry. You're not a midget. No one is. We're pals. If she actually wants to see me, she will find a way. Any good...
He doesn't want to see her. It's as simple as that.
Vanished? Harry, the woman left her Oh, did I leave my casserole on? Better go home and check. The election can wait.
Wait, there was no mention of a casserole from Joyce.
Harry, Harry, Harry. Do not fixate on this little matter. Maybe it was a rabbit stew, or a hairdryer, or an iron. The point is, her heart... Yes, yes. Low balling, of course. This isn't a casino, Harry. Real people...
His expression makes it clear. This is childish and irresponsible behavior.
It's perfectly okay. Even if you've told her everything we've talked about, it's absolutely fine. Of course, Harry. Let me just assure you one more time. I have no interest in what she is doing, but I myself have nothing to hide. Your business is your... Tell her about all of it. My brother's picture, my singing swordfish clock. Tell her how overweight I am and how I'm helping you find your lost gun. Tell her about
It is rather interesting to tell people things about each other, isn't it? It was nice telling him about her right now. It's clear you like the hard stuff, Brota. Evening falls. The time, the vows are blurred and flesh. Lower intestine? The term is metabolic and fascism, Brota. Many things, but it's mostly about trusting your gut. Who does your gut tell you is the source of Revishal's Yes, the women. Women, men of war. You don't like them. They're insane. Their idiocy needs to be scrubbed off this world with rubbing alcohol. Women, that's what fascism boils down to. The rest is also important. Stomach truth. You're having a stomach truth. Because you've said the hard things that others won't say. The good things, you've said them many times. Okay, yes, let's call it that. Good thinking. You're going to keep your vooz, right? Keep your vooz, Brota. For the nation, smart. Best not to mention the women too often. Of course you are, Brute.
Mister. I knew you'd be back to talk with those. Sure, mister. Absolutely. I'm always willing to help out nice fellows such as yourself.
Wandering man. How can I help you? Yeah, the janitor who gave me the key to his apartment said the guy's a bit of an asshole. Like I said before, I don't know much about this weasel, but the bossman said he's a real piece of work.
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body, as you breathe in, the odor comes over you. It's a spell of the mind telling you to run, and your stomach to wring itself empty.
They do after 7 days, yes. We are deep.
The man before you is naked, but for a pair of underpants and enameled boots. His skin is greenish, marbled with decaying veins, and blotched by lividity. A fading web of tattoo. The material appears to be ceramic. Its clean white stands in stark contrast to the decaying flesh above the knee. The man, delicate and fragile. They feel alien to the world around. These are clearly not boots. They're armor, possibly part of a larger set.
Indeed. Technically speaking, these are sabatons, not boots. Ceramic plate. Zirconium dioxide, most likely. This is under the heel. Fair weather. Fair weather model T500 VE. I'm guessing that's vitreous enamel. This is advanced stuff. Piece by piece. He's been out here for 7 days. It would be odd if we should keep a lookout for these species. The armor could yield information. This is one thing he might actually know. No, I think he had something precious underneath the clothes. They had to remove the jeans and shirts we found to get to it. And this kind of armor is often worn under fabrics.
Nice. That makes sense.
They usually hang them completely naked for that. La puta madre, the Mazda, the Besmerties, and the...
Fucking talking about underpants.
It is. It's expensive. We've requested similar material for our tactical units for years now. The constabularies deemed it too costly. In that time, for a full set, about 4 years of wait.
For the northwest region of Revachol, an officer's average yearly income is 5,500 real, unadjusted for rent.
Not too much, yes. It's a sorry situation, I agree. Looks like he worked for a private contractor, like Evrard told us. Wealthy, with state ties. This is way above what we have.
A small bell-like sound fills the air, like the pry bar in your hand is itching for some action. The metal connects with the same ding.
Did you hear that? A click? This is a kinetic redistributor. It spreads the incoming energy horizontally, from plate to plate. When the plates connect, there's a click. That's the sound.
Faint, organic lines cover the plates where they separate into smaller ones. These plates then divide into smaller plates, like whirls of floorboards. The design looks organic, influenced by highly resistant wood materials, like lignum viatic. If trees were made of porcelain, this is what their cross-sections would look like. The smooth, glossy surface fractures into ever more intricate interconnections. Peaking on the right, the whirls are in the shape of a letter and number combination. E50, 100, 1000.
Good. Can you read it to me? We have a make and a number. That's something. We can use the radio in my kinema when we're done. Either station can chase it for us.
This feels dangerous. Are you sure? The stench fills your nostrils as you...
Stop! Pig's gonna pull his head off.
Brutal!
You're going to pull his head off.
Do it, homo!
Stop obsessing about your sexuality, officer. You are about to see...
Indeed. From this angle, it does look like the neck isn't going to take much more.
What are you trying to achieve anyway? Why are you hanging on to that boot? How many clues do you need? You already found the number. There's no way you're getting them off. All the organic matter in his body has been flowing down into the boots.
You're sure there's a way to peel them off, but first the body needs to be down. And second, it would probably be better if the lieutenant wasn't around. The anticipation makes you crack your fingers. Feels nice.
Processing will take care of them. With the situation in the morgue, it will yield nothing. But we must pick our fights. Should we continue?
The cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt, his torso covered in tattoos, and the hangman's knot is pulled tight by the weight of the corpse below. Yellow, hard-edged polyester cuts into his neck. This is a steel-reinforced cargo lashing belt, big brother of the regular cargo belt. It's used for tying cargo under. Oh my, there's something on the belt. A familiar word that speaks to the vermilion in yellow letters along the length of the twisting cargo belt. Only a deep longing for vermilion golden spirits lets you decipher the fading logo.
No, you should not get a drink. You should perform an initial inspection of the victim's corpse. Airlifting. I thought it was used on lorries for strapping cargo to them. The local harbor uses 6 rotors to shuffle containers around. I get the sense they use whatever was on hand, without paying much attention to not incriminating themselves. I'm still approaching this as a lynching, yes, motivated by the ongoing strike. You? 70% of the cases I get are just filling in the blanks on the initial report. This belt worries me. I was afraid it would be. Thin steel wiring, parallel strands. This makes getting him down more problematic than I had assumed. A noose is one of those things that's easier to use one way around. That ladder can't carry a grown man. I didn't see any splintering either, did you? I think they lassoed the branch, then pulled on the belt to close the buckle.
Could be. The shape of the branch supports the theory. The cadaver hangs from the cargo belt. Limbs limp, an intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso, from the right shoulder to the solar plexus. Each time they intersect, his corpse is marked by stars. Alcohol? Your fist clenches suddenly. Decay is creeping on the tattoo. Already, most of the canvas that's holding it has darkened.
A map of the stars. I do see some similarity to astronomical charts. Great Century Messinian, maybe.
As if someone left out most of the night sky, filtering it through personal choice. The principle of this filter remains unknown.
So am I.
He takes a thin piece of milled aluminium from his coat pocket and pulls it open. Sounds like a sword being unsheathed.
A Trigger Sunshine.
Triggered is the world's leading manufacturer of intercommunication devices.
Shit, Kuno! What the—
An instant color camera. I have only 2 ampoules, so nobody move. I don't want to waste one.
A sound, a shrill flash, followed by the breaking of a small ampoule of glass. You see streams of color pour onto the thick...
In case we need it. Yes, it is pretty cool, isn't it?
There is only 1 ampoule left. Use it.
It contains insight to the victim's person. This was a man of physical violence. The story he wanted his body to tell was important to him. It is his letter to us. Now, if you could find... Sure, just don't lose it.
The glassy-eyed corpse looks by, his mouth mute and his skin as colorful as the chemical rainbow. His eyes are milky white and blind to the world. But dark brown hair grows on his head. His face is ready to explode from the organic processes inside. The deaths...
I'm gone. Into the wall in the past. Way out in the west. The blue heart. Oh, that's good. Fuck it hard. Corpo.
He means force. It'll work.
I'm a joke. Look at me. There is nothing funny about jokes either. A killer. Go ahead, Corpo. What do you mean? It's the power of your imagination. Go ahead. Ask me more questions. Because you're a copperoonie. Look at all of them go. Do you want more? Coming right up. Copperoonie. Fuck no. You're no Rooney. No, you're not a Harry either. You're a motherfucker because you have loved it, me in Provocopo. It was love all along. Sure, Lobo, looking at my face, motionless, looking into my eyes, standing here. What? I am all you have. Then you truly lost it all, brother. Let the world drag it all away from you. And what do I remind you of someone?
A child born with Muller's disease, Harlequinism, grown up miraculously.
You sure wriggled out of that one? Coppellini. Come back later, Corpo. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features. If possible, also, see me in your...
As you narrow your eyes, the monster before you blurs. This is a trick. You've done it before. Pink is where the blood settled in the first hours post-mortem. You can use it to see if the corpse has been... Only the lower extremities are pink with a dash of blue. His fatted hands, thighs, and his neck.
I see it. His neck too. The lividity goes right up his chin. We have good, well...
The monster comes back into focus. An explosion of color, coursing with dark...
So, what do you think? Agreed. Especially on the neck. The belt acted like a tourniquet, keeping the blood in his head. The hypostasis supports her hanging. There's always a chance. We should check for ligament marks on his neck to see if they're in tune with the belt. We'll have to get him down first. I agree.
His personality is no longer...
Totally dead. That sounds about right, yes. I do. Most of them are post-mortem. Maybe even all of them. The delinquents have made our...
Stop talking in riddles,
It means you fucked him up good, Kuno! Fucked him up brutal-like!
The pool of blood and feces has eaten into the frozen mud below the man's feet.
The victim appears to have contained no more than half a kilogram of digestion at the...
The fuck are you saying?
Talking about shit.
Did we? I don't feel lucky.
But there is no breath to catch. Only the cadaver filling the air and your nostrils.
Are you sure we finished the preliminary examination of the cadaver? We might miss some of these things once he's done.
The cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt.
Of course. You have come back later.
The steel-reinforced belt presents a unique challenge. I brought chain cutters, but I don't see a good angle of approach to the belt. The cadaver is a good 1.2 meters up. Neither one of us can reach the belt without assistance. And even if we do, there's the question of cutting the airship strength material. Someone else? You mean like the police? Sadly, yes. The whole RCM is out there right now, doing the exact same thing we are. Oh, I know it's hard, but I assure you, the others won't come to help us. And we have a growing sanitary concern here. We need to get him climb up there and... sow the branch? There has to be a less risky way. with less falling down of trees.
Yeah! Bang bang time, pigs!
How?
Where the buckle ties the rope to the branch. That's a good spot to aim.
Where? Ah, yes, I see.
Yeah, now we're talking.
They'll miss! The pigs will miss, Kuno!
I'll blow his head off.
Take it!
Yeah, take the shot.
Silence. With his elbow sharp and produces a lightweight firearm. He drops a paper cartridge in the barrel, separates the scouring stick, and gives the cartridge 5 times, securing it in place. That's a Kiel A9090 Armistice. He then steps back and assumes the fellow's desk position, taking aim. The corner.
He's gonna fucking miss!
The kid's voice is drowned in a shrill blast that echoes off the walls of the surrounding tenements. A cloud of smoke.
God damn it.
Fucking idiot!
Kuno could have hit it easy, but then Kuno's not fucking handicapped, is he? Kuno's sorry too.
The lieutenant doesn't say a word, just looks at the gun.
No, we are lucky as it is. We didn't break anything, and the victim. Any more mistakes could put us in an unfortunate position with the locals. We have eyes on us. I didn't do us any favors. I have to say, it's beginning to look unlikely we can get him down without assistance. I was really hoping we wouldn't. The Union appeared to be suspect in this case.
I would really prefer if there was another way. These people might have an agenda. But what other options? The corpse twists on the belt, like chicken on a skewer.
We are not getting him down already. Not getting him down is a task that's...
How do you plan to get him down, then? With social sensibility?
It's bad as it is. Us shooting firearms like punks. Go ahead, I'm not stopping you. Just don't lose it.
This is the sorriest pair of pigs.
Yeah, take it, you fucking banana boyka! Take it and shoot yourself in the mouth!
The cold piece of bakelite and gunmetal. You've held this. An A9 Armistice.
The fuck are you waiting for?
The buckle comes into focus in your sights.
Why don't you just shoot yourself in your mouth? At least you won't miss. Or what? You gonna fuck me?
Your field of view narrows. The branch slowly moves, becoming entirely the slow movement of the branch in the wind, and your shoulders directed.
Look, he's crying. You gonna cry now, fucking faggoty?
The buckle explodes into tiny pieces, coming loose with your hand numb from the recoil. You look at the body slump, looking straight at you, helpless.
Communism.
It takes a millisecond for the association to flash within your cortex. You have no idea where. Then the rigor in his muscles gives up, and he smashes sideways into the spring mud, letting out a horrid stench.
Ace is high.
The ace is high, a custom invented by the Aerostatic Brigade. You could add an ace's low to it, if you like, by turning your back after the high and waiting for another. The high arrives with a sharp slap. As you turn around, there is a moment chill. It's gonna, but then it does, and with furious precision. The lieutenant is not one to leave an ace's low.
I knew these guys were
Officer, let's keep our attention on the victim. We will perform a field autopsy and determine the cause of death. But before... It looks like I feel like taking a break from the stench. I'm sorry to interrupt the jubilations here. Just a little breather before we do the autopsy. Yes, the 4 phases of a murder scene. 1. Investigation of... I can't say I'm fully satisfied with that part. We should search for print. 2. Initial examination of the victim. 3. Field autopsy. This will not be pleasant or easy.
The fuck are they on?
Cops are gonna cut his shit up.
For and final, transport of the coroner's case to the district morgue. I'll do that. God, it stinks. No, you and I are detectives. The honorary rank of detective signifies our ability to handle the entire incident chain, from an honor and a burden attached to your rank. Mine is Lieutenant Detective, unfortunate.
He is growing truly tired of it. It's not merely...
With shooting like that? Of course you are. Your station would not have assigned you to this case otherwise. I would suggest we interview Everhart and Joyce, the leader of the Union and the Wild Pines Rat, but we've already done that, so it's up to you, Detective. Take us where we need to be.
He trusts you have plenty of things in the task chain lined up. Guillaume Le Million. Bad news. Guillaume Le Million did not become a cop. In 1938, he went on a tour. There are several footprints in the mud, left by work boots. Anywhere from 6 to 8 pairs of boots have shuffled back and forth in the mud. Where else have we seen a gang of men in work boot? 1. Standard work boot. Steel reinforced toes. Number 46. Is it? They didn't even bother to change boots. 2. Standard work boot. Steel reinforced toes. Number 44. Either 3. Hobnailed work boot. Steel reinforced toes. 4. Standard work boot. Number 45. Or 5. Another standard work boot. Reinforced toes. Number 6. Light as air. Same make of boot. Better late than never, detective. The whole world is dark. 7. The glowing outline of a standard work boot. Number 46. The imprint. 8. Another standard work boot. Number 44. There's an aberration in the pattern of the sole. The right sole is smoother, more warm.
7 sets of tracks, right? The Hardy Boys were here. That's all? Interesting. Then one of them seems to be missing. I'm guessing that's the skinny Hardy Boy. The one with his front teeth missing. Yes, well, he did look a bit like a rat, you're right. Do you think those prints belong to him? I could still be wrong, but I'm probably not. 200. This could be the combined weight of 2 people, one carrying the other who's tied up. Let's say a heavily...
He might be right. 200 kilograms of living weight is unlikely.
Possibly, yes.
But why?
Yes, they could have used a makeshift stretcher or just march him up to the gallows. Even easier to carry on a stretcher, or between 2 men. Anyway, it's for future consideration. What else can you see? Interesting. Let's name it the Old Soul. I wouldn't be surprised if this was the missing Hardy Boy. Someone operating a workbench with a pedal? Like a joiner at the harbor. Or maybe a drummer? No, it's not. Forget I said it. Perhaps it could be a driver. A driver would wear out the right shoe before the left. The accelerator is on the right. We should keep our eyes open around the traffic jam. See whether anyone strikes out as a potential suspect. Seems prudent. A week, maybe? 7 days would fit the time frame provided...
It is not impossible.
I pulled last week's forecast for coastal Havashol. 7 days below freezing. The day before...
Correct again. Sub-zero temperatures would preserve the tracks in a good state.
What do I think? A mob of people brought something heavy to the tree. Then, after hoisting him up, they stood in a semicircle facing his direction.
Indeed. They all stood in a row.
So far, so good. Only one thing missing.
Of course, there were 8 tracks, but there are only 7 Hardy Boys.
Which one is missing, do you think? I'm going to say it was our Old Soul. Yes, I doubt the Hardys are going to tell us who this person is. For now, it's best if we just keep our eyes open. I'm sure our investigation will eventually lead us to the outside.
The rotting man lies on his side with his eyes looking straight through you. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
Come on, officer. You know what a field autopsy is. You've done 100 of them.
What you do know is, at 18.9 kilometers, the dormant shield volcano, Corpus Mundi, is the world's highest summit, and the failure of the 38 single. Et puis, you must have me confused with the Copperpedia. You, sir, you are the Copperpedia.
There truly is a time for everything, even for yellow gardening gloves. However, they are lacking hygienically. I suggest you get in there in limit. I mean when I need you to. Until then, I should handle physical contact, and you should take notes. That's right.
The dead man stares in silence as you crack open the ledger. The bright red paper is covered in boxes and lists, describing the condition of above those. An 11-field info form needs filling out first. It begins with,
"That's you."
The corpse is indifferent to your scribblings, just lies there. The next box,
KK57-0803.
KK equals Kim Kitsuragi. 57 equals Precinct 57, followed by his date, 0803, and time of arrival, 0850.
And what would that make the alpha? I do. Next. NA. Next. NA. Roughly 50.
Dry 40. The damage is so extensive, it's better to err on the young side. The corpse looks ageless, like meat, teeming with opportunistic microorganisms, letting out a foul-smelling diamine.
Mondial.
Fair to olive-skinned, from the Isola of Mundi. The pudgy mess of curdled meat looks neither
Fucky!
Male.
Pigs can have sex!
nor does he look male, with his pregnant belly.
We're still going with March 4th. 51. What else? 9. Body identified by is non-applicable. 10.
KK 57 0503.
None. At least not after the initial examination. Interfering with the body's position or wounds post-mortem. They'd have to have incapacitated and carried him over. This man was more than a match for untrained dogwalkers.
Your central nervous system recognizes this gesture. It's the stations of the breath. Ecclesiastic, religious in somewhere in Jamrock North, a small wood shed behind Rosencrantz Row. Lieutenant Nick Feuerbat puts his hand elsewhere yet. An obese female sits in a wicker chair, her silhouette bull-like against the window. Outside, Grand Coudon. The building is tall, 7 stories wind-wrapped in solitude. Most of the apartment, and so, all across Jamrock, Coal City, GR.
We should start the post-mortem.
The corpse cannot feel Kim's hand on his chest. It no longer meaningfully interacts with its surroundings.
Clothes. The deceased wears armored boots and white briefs. The make of the briefs is Babrodine, I think.
See?
Babrodine, yes. Inexpensive.
The disappointment is palpable. The red-haired thing was expecting.
The boots are ceramic, vitreous enamel. They are fused to his skin from blood flowing downward post-mortem. Removal of the boots is...
It would be clever of you to omit the boots altogether, sire. If you are to keep them for yourself, as you ought to, you have deserved them. More patience. After the autopsy, before the body is taken away, there will be a window of opportunity. After the lieutenant has gone to sleep. I hope this has helped you, my liege.
The boot has a serial number. It's E50.100 tattoos. The upper torso is covered in a single, continuous tattoo, resembling a map of the night sky. The assistant has a color photograph of the markings, to be added to the case files as document A1. The photo is taken on the scene. The deceased has a belt for airlifting cargo around his neck, tied with a hangman's knot. Well-nourished, athletically built, measuring 1.8 meters, generally consistent with age, about 50. Preservation is good. Ambient temperature, below freezing. Body hair is light brown. Distribution is consistent with the age. The deceased had male pattern baldness. Hair is combed back, short.
The hair under your latex fingers feels cold to touch, wet. The stench is suffocating. Strands of dark brown. There must be brilliantine in there. He's combed his hair back with oil.
Lividity is consistent with hanging. The head is congested. Contusions are present on the head, chest, and thighs.
Fucking low velocity! You think Kuno doesn't know what you're talking about? Velocity was talking shit about Kuno's velocity.
In addition, there are bite marks on the face, scalp, and chest, consistent with predation. Ligature mark. The steel wiring. There's too much of it. We need to remove the belt so we can get to the ligature mark.
You got just the right tool for that. The chain cutters.
Always good to think ahead. Now, we need to cut the belt to see the ligature mark below. Carefully, with as much precision.
See? My pig is gonna
No, he ain't. Your pig's a boring fuck.
The belt is equally tight around the whole circumference of his neck. The knot is the weak spot. The chain cutters fit in there. Steady now, like a flower arranger. After some deliberation, you sink the cutters into the knot tying the belt together. Snap! The knot is slashed. Another cut and the belt falls apart like...
The rope rises to a point, leaving a gap in the ligature mark. The suspension point is in the back of the neck.
As it ought to. This is where its grip on the curdled meat is.
Hemorrhaging is observed on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. The mark is well pronounced, consistent with a drop from one. Chest is intact, normal contour. Abdomen is protuberant, pelvis intact.
No! Let's get out and see!
I fucking knew it!
Genitalia is male and unremarkable. No evidence of injury.
The dead man's penis is average-sized, congested from the downward collection of blood. You should touch it.
Back is symmetrical and intact. Upper and lower extremities are intact, but asymmetrical. There are combat injuries on the right hand, thigh, and hip.
Bullets have bitten little pieces out of him. It must have been excruciating, especially the hip. Before you is a temple of pain.
In addition, I see smaller, residual scars.
From wounds sustained over 2, maybe more decades. Dispersal and accumulation indicate...
Last item. Hands.
His flesh is cold.
Pleased to meet you. Where are you? I'm only fucking with you. I know where you're from. From Cappadocia. And your name, you get me, Kobo. I feel like you were once. For tenderness and kisses. We should do this more often.
Hands are clean. No sign of injury from struggling. I was. Maybe I'm just not seeing them. Honestly. Ooh. That's all for the external. Well done. What next? Central nervous system. I have nothing. Do you have anything on this man's central nervous system?
Of course, there is a moral to be drawn from it. A moral to this story.
What would that be?
The dead man looks, too, with barely contained excitement to hear the moral of his story.
I think that may well be the moral of every story, officer. Good. Musculoskeletal. Purge fluid is coming from the mouth. Not injury related.
Isn't with his eyes almost closed. The lieutenant puts his hand on the dead man's throat.
Yeah, jack that fucker off!
The hyoid bone is fractured. The rest of the musculoskeletal system is intact. Respiratory system. Oral cavity shows no lesions. The victim has received dental implants.
No scream. No sigh of relief rises from the darkness inside. No, you don't. You can keep it in. You can keep anything. You managed to suppress the contractions trying to enter your stomach.
There are ancient mysteries down there.
Hemorrhaging present in mucus. Hepatobiliary, NA. Are you a hepatobiliary expert? Neither am I. That's it. Same for toxicology and serology, NA. Unless you have untapped reservoirs of knowledge there? Like a toxicology screening? At this stage, I doubt processing will find anything, even if he was brimming with cocaine. But
brimming with cocaine.
Cardiovascular. The body exhibits heavy lividity. Blood has gastrointestinal.
This will do.
Digested semi-solid food in stomach. Voila. What's next on the list? Let's see. We have bite marks, contusions on the head and chest, and a ligature mark, and so...
Be thorough if you want maximum results.
Nothing. Just in case. Not just yet. Let's get what we know. Head, chest, and scalp bite mark. And your opinion, officer? Fatal injury by seagulls? Yes, it's... That's right. What's next? So, the scalp bleeds from a post-mortem head injury, a stone. The injury does not have the rim of an early inflammatory response.
At maximum velocity.
Has confessed to causing it at maximum velocity.
Coagulated blood sticks to his scalp and chest, where the countless stones have hit the dead man. Beneath, the description...
Right. Next. A dark red abraded ligature mark encircling the neck. I see hemorrhaging on the skin, above and...
Below the note, 2 customary boxes wait to be ticked. The man's head jerked. Think for a moment.
That's it. We have established cause of death. It's not much, and it leaves much to be questioned. Let's wrap this up. I pronounce this field autopsy over. Well, we established probable cause of death. Some would say we also requested a toxicological screening. That was thorough. The results should arrive in a couple of weeks. We were thorough with the list of injuries too. We described them all in detail. What is there?
Oh yeah. Well done, Master Detective. Maybe a drink isn't...
Now, you see, that worries me. You will die if you drink. You know that, don't you?
Please get yourself together. The lieutenant from Precinct 50.
I need a copy of that autopsy form. Then I will drive him to Faubourg for processing.
You tilt your head. Also, I'm sure we didn't get everything. There's always something.
Shoot, Looney Rooney. Oh yes, Kobo mi Lobo. In just a small gulp away, my beloved Kobo. Huh? You're misquoting me, Rooney. I said communism killed me. Come back later, Kobo. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my...
I thought we decided to leave it to processing.
Damn it. This is turning. Okay, so you can sneak out of your room maybe, after he's gone to sleep. You run your hands over the victim's cold body, his limbs, his torso with the genitals in his breeches.
Can't get enough.
Do you think we missed something?
You can't shake the feeling that there are more secrets concealed in the flesh before you.
Okay, well, we are in livor mortis here. He's disintegrating. We need to refrigerate the body if we want to conduct. It would have to be industrial in size. Let's start by asking Gart at the Whirling in Rags and the Fritz store down at the gates. If
Fuck are you looking at, Beano man? You want...
only if all else fails.
Kuno looks like he gets around. No, or remember the buttons on that intercom over there? On the side of the building next to the Whirling?
This is one task we cannot sideline. With every hour, whatever we are looking for will become harder to find.
Fuck does Kuno care? For the fuck imp. Good thing you asked the Kunmeister. Kuno knows a fridge. Perfect for freezing Kuno knows all kinds of shit. Kuno... Bacon Man's in a rush. But what's in it for the Kuno? What's the return on Kuno's investment? Kuno's clock's not doing shit. Kuno's...
There's nothing on his wrist.
Don't believe him, Kuno. He just wants to use your fridge.
Kuno's got everything Kuno needs.
You can't buy Kuno, pig. Kuno's already...
Kuno...
Don't believe him, Kuno. He just wants to use your...
Wasn't going to. Kuno's...
You can't turn Kuno into a little popo man. Kuno's his...
Fucking right, pig. Kuno's filling bathtubs with that shit. Kuno's... Fuck no, pig. Kuno...
He's got to at least know a source. Look at him. You need to befriend him first.
You found Kuno's secret door to Kuno's secret shack. It was closed for 5,000 years. How the fuck did... Shit. Get the...
He can't do that, Kuno.
Pigs can't displace. How did you like it in there, pig old boy? Kuno's got a lot of cool shit there, right? That's where Kuno gets his daily hit.
Bet you'd like to ride the lightning too.
Oh, that? Kuno decapitates pigs. That's just a Kuno demo tape. Yeah, Kuno plays on snuff radio, fucks pigs, It's a vitamin, pig. Don't you know anything? Yeah, it's the mag. You fucking need that shit.
Oh, don't teach him, Kuno. He's gonna use it against you, Kuno.
You're not getting this, pig. It completely...
Fuck you, pig. Don't do mag. You're gonna OD and you're gonna fuck...
Good call, Pigmeister. Don't come and talk to Kuno about his kingdom. The fuck do you want? Good for the fuck imp. Good thing you asked the Kunmeister. Bacon Man's in a rush. But what's in it wasn't
You can't turn Kuno into...
Yeah, the kingdom of Kuno. The fuck do you... Look at that fucking shit. You're trying to get Kuno killed. Fuck does Kuno know? Kuno's not a...
The lieutenant takes a quick...
It's a trap, Kuno. Don't climb...
Dunno. Kiptas gardener used to wear...
Kipt is a pejorative term used to describe people of South Seminese or Erie Opagite descent. It used to be a common...
Yeah, that's what Kuno said. She couldn't handle the heat, so she took off. Kuno can take it. The fuck does this have to do with the Kuno?
You were expecting relaying this information to him to be more rewarding, right? Telling or alcohol. Seems kinda boring now, going back to... What was this about? Some yard? Yards aren't...
Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't give a shit. Yeah, the kingdom of Kuno. The fuck do you want with it? Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't give a shit. The fuck about it? Kuno doesn't give a shit about the armor. Kuno's fuck gimp's got one big thing wrong with it. Look at him. Fucking growth hormone shit. He's a giant. Kuno doesn't give a shit about that freak armor. Kuno threw that shit.
Oh, come on. He's just pretending that he doesn't care because he's too small for the armor.
Kuno tried to get the helmet on. It was too big. Kuno kicked that shit in the sea, rugby style. That shit means nothing to Kuno. Yeah? That shit means nothing to Kuno. Kuno doesn't give a shit about material shit. Kuno's a fucking monk. You wanna fuck on someone about that armor? Go fuck the mustached union fuck. The jolly troubadour shit at the gate. Yeah, cock and boot. You know that jolly union cow fucker? Came around talking about cows or some shit?
Yes, you met him at the gates. The one with the boots and the jolly
Yeah, he's the one you want to talk to. He's fucking crazy about that armor shit.
Yes, this troubadour has it. You can feel it.
Fuck are you talking about?
Well, he says you're stupid, Kuno. They want to make you stupid again.
Oh, did Kuno make your shit sniffing harder? Obstruction of shit sniffing? This is Kuno's...
You hear the lieutenant hum.
Your
Get lost,
He's on your crime scene, bossing you around.
Trying to fuck at the Kuno. Trying to fuck at...
Kuno gonna fuck you.
Normal is not what we got here.
Kuno doesn't...
I'll die before I squeal, pig. Stay away from me, pig. I'll die before I... What's this?
Get the fuck out of it.
So it's a girl.
I'll die before I squeal, pig. Murd.
I've got nothing to say to you.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here. Incriminating. Now that's a big boy. Evrard, and what did he tell you? That we killed him? That we took a cargo belt from the home? Because we did. All of us together. I hope he told...
There's a catch hidden somewhere. He didn't confess so that you could take them all away. It's too simple.
There is no catch. These 7 honest men have all equally come forth to tell you what happened, so that you don't waste any more of your...
How many people have you sent to the Shays?
Chaise électrique is the method of capital punishment.
Or send them to Reunion to rot. For 20 years. For life.
The River Esperance Correctional Facility, a military prison run by the Coalition, dubbed...
Oh, so you are just a simple, well-meaning man, eh? Ever been in solitary?
So is hanging a man, slowly, without breaking his neck.
Are you deaf? There will be no singling anyone out. Do you think you could do that? Do you think you could arrest them all? That's for the courts in Les Jardins to decide. Not what you can do right now is go back to your...
No. We'll stay here and discuss what happened that night.
You don't have to keep answering his questions.
I know, Lizzie. Relax. We killed him last Sunday night. Seemed like a good way to end the...
Known him? We don't associate with scum like... Yeah! Who...
Quiet! He came around about 3 weeks ago when that Pines...
By the Pines cow, you mean Joyce Messier? The representative for White Pines? The same company you're striking against?
No. I mean the Pines cow. The stupid-ass cow they sent in to fuck us over. Why don't you ask her about the pretty boy? I'm sure she has interesting things to say.
That's enough insinuation for today, Titus. Officer, your interview is drawing to an end. Don't waste your last questions.
Why? 'Cause he was worthless mercenary scum. And he stepped out alive.
What kind of mercenary?
The kind that shows up when you start a strike. The experience.
A live grenade, right here in our bar.
I can't prove it.
But I know he was sent by the Wild Pines. They hire merc shit like that.
Cause one night, he walked straight up to the mic and said, "I'm RNA's goddamn special."
Really?
Yeah, really. Had a gin and tonic up there, sang some RNA's paratroopers.
We couldn't believe it either, but he fucking did. Right there. Like,
This is a serious violation of the karaoke code.
Wrong. He harassed women, raped one, harassed workers, threatened to kill some as a...
There's slight unease in him suddenly. He regrets mentioning the rape.
To kill us all, if we don't open the gates, if we don't let the scabs in, if we don't bend over.
Yeah, he said it was his favorite joint now. Started coming here every night. Drinking.
He grabbed someone?
Yeah. This girl's on the mic. A beautiful girl. Young. Gets into the second verse of Lover Lake. Show me your cunt. Why don't you show me your cunt? Then, he gets knocked on the head with a wine bottle. Doesn't even fall down.
Aren't you fucking listening? My man is talking.
yeah, me and Eugene got around. Aren't you fucking listening?
No. You're not getting the name.
There's nothing you can do for now. He's stonewalling you.
We hanged him up by his neck until he got...
Didn't they teach you anything?
The autopsy showed there were no ligature marks. His hands were not tied.
The lieutenant goes in for the leg sweep.
We... Look, I'm not gonna play...
Yeah, I knocked him out. Came up behind him and clapped...
That's right, lawman. And then...
Make them a bit more uncomfortable first. Then, see if it all adds up.
My fucking elbow, Copper.
Samuran boxing, or Sambo, is an eloquently violent set of one-on-one fighting moves.
Right fucking here. Eugene already told you that the fuck...
Yeah, man. Weren't you listening?
Titus is solid as a rock, and so are a few others. But Elaine, who looks like he might be Titus's right-hand man, this little rat-faced fellow is solid too. Always him neither. Mostly keeps to his tomato juice, or whatever he's got there. A single sentence would wear him out. He can't take the length of the questioning. Keep it going long enough, and he'll crack.
No. Of course he's having trouble breathing. Just look at how
Fuck off, Shanky. Angus is a power...
Keep your eye on this powerful guy. Sooner or later, he's going to break like a...
And fuck you, too, Copper. Picking on Angus like this.
This one is a stone wall. You won't get more out of them about the night of the murder. Not yet.
Like what, Copper? Yeah, lawman. Why don't you?
It's almost an anthropological sight, watching him try.
Not in the arresting mood.
By your side, the lieutenant keeps his hand away from his holster. Easy. Walk back from the provocation. They're armed, while the little rat-faced man reaches into his sleeve. There's a knife in there. Some of the others reach for their belts. Their eyes are light.
Wise move. You made the right choice there. Now making
Nothing. Your investigation here is done. Leave Martinez, go back.
I think we're going to stick around, thanks. I've done this job for long enough to know that people don't just confess to third-degree murder. Even if...
Good luck with that. You've heard everything a rent-a-cop is gonna hear from us. Real law officials. You're lucky you didn't get a beating. Oh, so you went and talked to my mommy.
And what's gonna happen if we don't? You're gonna go and tell on us?
Yeah, I heard him. Now fuck to you. Let me state this very clearly, Capo. Hello, officer. I'm Titus Hardy. What are you talking about, madman? There's no 8th Hardy Boy, there's 7 of us and we're all... Or what? You want to be the 8th Hardy Boy?
Actually, boss, we've been talking and we think she could make...
She? So there's an 8th Hardy, and it's a Hardy girl?
Shut the fuck up, Glenn! I do the talking here.
It has to be good, if he won't let you pursue it. Looks like...
So let me get this straight. There is an 8th Hardy Boy. It's a she.
That's right. We're not talking about this. This is a private Hardy Boys matter. You're not cops here. Don't go digging around if you don't want a bullet in the back.
Good. We are all watching each other. Officer...
There's no point in pushing it further, he thinks. This is already a victory. We'll learn more about this 8th Hardy sooner or later.
Can I help you? Yes, for the dead body. You want...
Corrected.
Well, I have a fridge, and you're not putting it here, because this is a culinary establishment.
It would only be for...
Lieutenant, you too? You're asking too? No.
Let's go talk to the frit clerk.
Another thing. Great. Oh, yes, that door. Sure, yes. What? Yes?
The man ponders his cooking utensils and gives you...
Speak Revacholian? We speak Suren. There is no...
The cook is still smoking. Ash for...
Good thing he didn't understand a word.
The man keeps shaking.
I don't think he understands, officer. We need to find some other way to... He's from Grad.
With the men... He's from Grad. People from Grad don't mind if they're called by their national derogatives. It's okay.
Oh, no. What do you know, Fridge? Fridge more. No. I know.
Okay, we have our answer. It won't fit. We need a...
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist? Sir, officer. What's the... Got it. I'll contact the ICP database immediately.
The International Collaboration Police, ICP, is an inter-east...
No, and I doubt they'll get back to me before 57.
In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers, a radio on a...
Is this about the questions again? Mm-hmm. Right behind you. You're joking, right? Okay.
Now that I'm looking at it, maybe a glass-doored fridge in a public grocery store isn't the best option for storing a corpse.
Yeah, I don't know.
2, 1. What's it to you? Am I a suspect? Done no crimes.
The man has turned his attention elsewhere. He shakes his fist.
We were promised work.
The physically impressive.
Hola, Wandering Man. How can I help you? The little boy had the good on his promise to get me into trouble. To sick the pigs on me, pardon.
What happened?
I was asked to look into that armor situation. Official Union probe, you know.
Did you?
At first I thought, why not? Maybe the pieces can feed the strike. Buy us a few more days under the sun, you know. So I went to this boy. He said he'll make me his prison bitch. He's got eyes everywhere, the cops in his pocket, and he's the king. Serves me right for doing menial footwork. I dropped that probe right then and there, and it still got me into trouble. One bad move is all it takes. It's a minor nuisance. It's all good.
He thinks, not yet. Better to get...
I learned that people don't want to talk to a drunk union man about some...
What else?
Not much. Technical stuff mostly. That was the interesting part. I did some research into this armadura. Let's say I have friends at the library. I didn't get into the material science, just how it comes off.
How does it come?
In parts. 4 in total. The helmet was the first to go. The kid says he tore it off and kicked it into the sea. I believe him. So, as I count, there are 2 parts missing. The gauntlets and the cuirass. This is where I left off. Too much hassle. More like a job for some militia. Oh, they're just gone. They don't exist anymore, if they ever did at all. Forget about them. I did.
All of it? There are junior officers out there, eager to prove themselves. I would live.
And Mesqui's epic then, all across Martinez. I hope it will be a real bonanza for you. No problem. If you see that...
with a matrix of push buttons lists all the companies in the East Delta. Silence. No one. You hear the same waiting room music, but no one picks up the receiver anymore. Silence. No one answers the doorbell.
To rough some people up. Kuno played you. That happened. Now you and Kuno should move. You got fucked. You got fucked, pig. Fucked bad. Of course you're gonna remember this after this shit. You better have something real
Yeah, real interesting.
Kuno does... Does Kuno care? Kuno... Fuck, does Kuno care?
It's not Kuno. It's Kuno S. Kuno S is by far the worst of the two. Kuno has no problem being near you, but the other hides behind. She came up with that psychopathic scheme of screaming for help before. Kuno just wanted to talk to you about his name. Also, Kuno hasn't stopped talking to you, even enjoys it from time to time. When you talk to the other one, it's like talk. And then there's the fact that she's a girl, and appears to be a little younger. So all in all, Kuno respects madness. You cannot hope to outdo her on that front. You must win yourself a few minutes with...
Fuck you whispering about?
He's whispering too. He's going with it. But what?
Fuck you, whisper. If Kuno wants to whisper, he's gonna fucking whisper, okay? Let's whisper, pig.
This is it. You've got him. But be careful. You can still fuck this up. Don't make Kuno look bad in this.
It's okay. The pig's trying to pit us again.
Idiot. That's it. You let him off the line. That was a bad man.
Try to fuck my Kuno! Try to fuck my...
A chill comes over you, the wind from the boulevard south, lashing you. You were too pushy. Just look. While Kuno, she came, and then all in all.
Fuck you whispering about?
He's whispering too. He's going with it.
Fuck you! If Kuno wants to whisper, he's gonna fucking whisper, okay? Let's whisper, pig.
This is it. You've got him. But be careful. You can still fuck this up.
Crazy? You don't know the half of it. She's not crazy. She's insane. Dangerous. She's...
Stop talking to him! Kuno...
She understands what you're trying to do.
Yo, see? Did Kuno not tell ya? Talk, pig. Kuno's got it under control.
You did it. They're separated. He's even turned his back to her, so she can't read it.
Kuno means she killed someone. That's right. She's a killer. Like, are you getting this? You think I'm fucking telling you a joke here? How hard do you think it is to kill a fat ass? She's probably killed a pig, too. I mean, I'm pretty sure she has. I knew you pigs were too naive for this shit. Good thing Kuno's got her under control.
A cop would be too large for her to overpower. But a determined child of her size can still... The creature peers at you both from over the fence. There is something searching. Kuno falls silent.
Kuno, there... That's it. That's what Kuno was starting to think. Yeah, she would have liked to fuck him up, but she didn't. Kuno wasn't around. Look, Kuno's gonna put you at ease.
He speaks the truth, my liege.
Yeah, she's psycho. Yeah. Snuff radio shit. Believe me, pig, you don't want to know. Fuck knows. She says it's the song of air people or some shit. Crazy people. The fuck...
Sounds boreal. Like something from the tundra and tiger-covered cutler. You mean evil little red-haired people like her? Yes, they do.
Surois? Like that man from Shelmdall shit? She could be.
Revelshot does have a small Suroese community. Or she climbed into a yakberry.
Fuck no, she's not me sister. She's just a Yeah, she was just there.
What was that, Kuno?
She was in the hallway, dripping wet, by the fucking shoe rack, in the dark. Yeah, that's the place. She was just balled up. Kuno's got no fucking idea. Her hair was all wet. I think she pissed on the floor too. She was there for 3...
You know this. The body goes into a kind of revulsion shock. Murder hangover. Killed a kid. Yes. Makes them look for a quiet, dark place and must have been her first one. You only get it on the first one.
I don't know. Someone left the door open. Kuno comes home. She's sleeping under the desk. Kuno's dad doesn't give a shit. Doesn't even see her there. Or thinks it's fucking Kuno. Shit's all on Kuno. How's Kuno dealing? Kuno's dealing. Kuno's got this shit under control. Listen. Listen. See, it's Kuno's go-to. Kuno's
This is what it all comes down to.
I'm going to kill you. I'll run when you put the cuffs on her, sneak up on you later, and fuck you up. All right. Now we can do business.
He's breathing heavily. That took...
Yeah? What do you want? Kuno can hook you up with...
Oh, don't hook him up with...
See? Relax. He respects the Kuno. Kuno made him respect the Kuno. Remember when you tried to get Kuno to hook you up? We can get on that now. If you run a little errand, that's right. Kuno's a candy store for pigs now. Get ready to be rewarded. Kuno gets it from his dad. Kuno and his dad had a little falling out. Now junkies clawing at Kuno's door. Streets going mad. Kuno's got to throw his dirty popo man. Dirty popo man is you. In there is Kuno's violent dad on steroids. Kuno's dad does steroids. Kuno's dad is a fucking monster. He's the most violent man in Revachol. He doesn't give a shit about a single thing. Like half. A baggie. But like...
That's half a gram.
Yeah, half a G. Want it or not? Fuck you talking about half a G? This...
You can barely see it, because there's barely any.
Okay, Kuno's listening. Alright, pig. You can plug him, but you can't stop. Just get in the apartment building. Kuno knows you already fucked your way in. Kuno knows everything. Go to room 12, first floor, and kick down the door. Police violence style. Kuno style. That's it. Next time Kuno sees you, you better have it.
What the hell are you signing us up for here? Okay then.
Kuno doesn't...
Hello again, sir. A fridge? You mean like the ice bear fridge? Man.
Ice bear fridge?
Yes, like a bear, but white. There's a fridge below the building in the basement, with red glowing eyes. Mum doesn't want me to go there anymore. Not that I want to. It was pretty scary. Yes. She can be pretty strict. You're right about that. I don't really know what to say. You could... I'm sorry, sir. Anyway. Oh, that's Auntie Billy. She's nice if a bit... No, sir. She's a working woman. I think she is a bad husband. Not very nice or helpful.
The woman... A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of little oddly shaped... A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of little oddly shaped trinkets and charms. It appears to be locked. You smash into the wood and see a small crack appear on the doorframe. It's going to take one more try.
You're not thinking of trying again, are you?
A barbell lies on the floor. It's 60 kilograms. Your triceps hum at the sight of these weights. There are no collars on the barbell. Why does it feel so familiar? No, it's not that. It's the stale smell of it's just a memory from another life.
You're right. The weight may fall off. Better not touch it then. It would be a violation of EPIS safety regulations if the gym was still operating. But it's dark. And the flashlight works a lot better if you hold it in your hand. Right.
Some areas are inaccessible without your flash.
Yes?
Looks like someone tried to reconceptualize their business here. Look, the skis and rotor blades both bear the same Slipstream logo. It seems likely that they started out making one. That's a good question. Reality is Your flashlight slides over an old green chalkboard covered in scribbles, sketches, and some of the writing has faded with age, but you can still make out sections here and these lithe, pointy-eared creatures appear to be different types of Welkins. You make translucent Welkins, with organs shining under their skin. And even who are all those creatures? One of the Welkins, towering among the rest, appears to be it's Vara Hamira, a high Welkin, his face white and scarred like cracked marble. This is clearly a Welkin supremacist. The Haldor, the Twarg, the humans, and even headless men, all of them, purged. Imagine.
An inordinate amount of time has gone into drawing these little Welkin creatures. Some people really like building a world, I think, even if it's just for a game. This looks like concept art for a project. It's not really real. Political commentary. That one has a great beard, too. Just look at those details.
And for what? All gone. The photo collage depicts barren, icy landscapes wrapped in perpetual. Entire oceans have been frozen from shore to shore. There are pictures of settlements on dried-up riverbed. You see primitive oil rigs built into glaciers, boreal dvorg, yurts under the snow. Albeit dark and cold, this vision also feels cozy in its own way. A pinned postcard reads, "The heat death scenario. A desperate fight for geothermal energy engulfs the world. This is a monthly calendar from the year 50. Cryptic words like sprint, daily minimi, and GP. Minimi stands for a mini meeting. It's part of a bigger framework for managing work called RUN. Station. As time goes on, the numbers in the boxes grow rarer and rarer. The board becomes...
Looks like they didn't make it.
A note in the bottom left corner of the chalkboard says, "See the prod skid." The handwriting is only partly legible, but you can still make out 3 slopes. Outside, a cold wind wraps the building in its bosom. Snowflakes in the wind. And this old fireplace is covered in lines drawn in blue and red marker. The whole thing resembles Kadran mosaic tiles. Varied history classes, students with their textbooks open, studying the roots of our radio frequencies, it seems. UKV 123. Unclear. It looks like a cardiovascular system split into... You think so? The web is comprised of radio stations, all lead back to one red heart, titled the Game Master Frequency. They must have had massive airwidth. These things don't come cheap. Someone very important, the leader of a massive on-air game built by these people, a conductor for the hundreds of story threads that pass through the Game Master's frequency. Whoever decides to call in to a call-in station, all of this is gone. Left. There's no way a little basement studio working here.
My God. It's as if the less money they had, the more ambitious their project became. Exactly. This schedule, I know doom when I see it. The company was running out of...
Nothing. It's just lines on... You see a terrifying ice bear with a strange compartment in it. The bear looks oddly realistic. This must be the fridge you were told about. Look inside. A gust of freezing cold air rushes to greet you. You hear a low grumble as the lieutenant takes a peek inside. His hand has found the holster of his gun.
Of course, a giant ice bear-shaped fridge. Just what we were looking for.
The shelves are empty. All you see are crumpled ice cream wrappers with the brand name, Revachol Ice City. A handwritten note has been attached. You pocket the note and the little fridge magnets keeping it on the door. A friendly cartoon bear smiles back at you from a
It's certainly an eccentric choice.
But the optics on this are awful, he thinks. We need to be Your visual confirms. You could fit 2 more.
Shall we go and get the body then? I'll take the head, you take the feet.
The 2 of you. The body is heavier than and stinkier. It takes half an hour to get the body. Then 10 more to stuff it into the fridge. The lieutenant takes a step back.
Beautiful. A dead body in an ice bear fridge. This is some of the best police work I've ever done.
You've definitely earned a drink after this. Perhaps even so.
No, not really. Look at that. What have we done? We stuffed a dead body in an ice bear fridge. This story does not leave this room. Did we though? At least we've stopped the body from decomposing further. Now you can conduct another inspection.
Inside the icy realm of the ice bear fridge, the corpse stands slumped.
Shoot, Looney Rooney. Come back later, Corpo. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my...
Good question. It looks like an ice cream fridge. I know. What an unfortunate... What is even worse, the bear is still costing them money to this day. The electricity bill must be catastrophic. On the other hand, it did help.
Lucky us. Indeed. Refrigerated meat is much better for coroner's work.
I thought we decided to leave it to processing.
Damn it. Okay. So you can sneak out of your room, maybe, after he's gone asleep.
If you think so, officer, I'm not going to. I need a little help for carrying him to the holding pen of my kinema.
There go those beautiful enamel boots. You will never own the full set. Oh well, in another life.
Continue working here. The locals, the case, or attend to your own business?
This means Lieutenant Kitsuragi will leave the party until tomorrow morning. If you have nothing to do, read books or sit on the bench on the plaza.
This appears to be some kind of machine with a cube-shaped heart. This is the reams. The machine lights up like some prehistoric animal stirring. It's empty, like a beehive, without its brood. The filament you have would fit perfectly inside. Like a smooth drawer, the filament slides into place. A bar of fabric right above the keyboard starts producing a soft... The static gets louder, slowly filling up the...
Good afternoon. Fortress accident en rue de Saint-Ghislaine. Please repeat. Is this the production schedule? The filament you have inserted into the reader? That was a question. Good. Please...
Password. Of course it would have a password. That's why there's a human administrator involved.
No.
A hint system is not part of the protocol for a repeater station.
Still no. I am contractually obliged to protect the privacy of the filament holder. Now, can you please receive? I will...
Don't worry. Passwords have a way.
Fortress accident. Is there anything else I can do for you? Good.
Don't worry.
Fortress accident is the company on whose name... One moment. Fortress Accident SCA produces revolutionary interactive...
That's not bad.
Any other questions? Yes, I am alive. I work as a repeater at the East Insulindian repeater station. As for me, well, I am sitting...
On an island on the river Esperance, a small woman, all skin and bone. Doesn't it get lonely, sitting there all by herself?
Lonely?
That's why she does this.
Now, please tell me. Thank you.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the frame. Nothing happens. The filament slides out of it. A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace. Looks like this furnace has a face, and it's a face of agony. It's dark and grimy here. In the darkness you can hear chatter. Maybe it's coming from somewhere upstairs, or maybe you're just hungover again. It's dark, maybe, or maybe it's dark and grimy here. In the dark, or maybe you're just hungry. A lush layer of coal now covers you. Maybe you could paint something with this coal. Leave it still. It's good to have this dirt. A hollow ring echoes through the furnace. Your toe hurts. Bent metal. Broken glass. You are the destroyer. The kudos. A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment behind the wall. Inside, a secret room there is. Inside, your hand reaches deep into darkness and spider webs, rummaging around. You find a number of rusty rifles, a fit service weapon for a fit officer. Too bad it means there are firearms, albeit inoperable, still lying around Martinet. This is a good find. Two cables are plugged into the breaker box. The red one leads to the ice bear fridge, and the black one to the ice cream maker nearby. An electric sizzle. The room is slightly quieter now. Something close to you dies with a soft electric purr. Both cables are unplugged from somewhere in the dark. A giant... An iron safety curtain curves before your eyes, folded like a... This is directly above the central furnace in the cellar. What an odd thing to do. Nothing happened. Still nothing. Those curtains prove to be There must be another way to wake up whoever is in there. Maybe you should talk to the lady.
You broke down the back door. I suppose it's all over now. Just a door? This place is cursed, Detective. They don't call... I hope you're happy now. Happy that you've ruined everything. Now that you've broken the door... Of course you didn't. You're nothing but a policeman. All right. You know what? I'm willing to let you investigate the doomed commercial area. We are set on the...
Her facade has dropped. Now...
But, before we go on, tell me, did you encounter the malignant entity? Yes, the malignant entity that lives inside the chimney. It takes the... Yes, I've heard that. It's enormous. She has barricaded herself behind some unnatural magic, I assume. You should go find the entity and ask what happened to all the companies in the building.
You should get back to the furnace.
Okay, but please, only the curse is so much worse than you could imagine. It's a disease. It's the curse of financial distress.
Didn't that curtain just move?
It's not just that, officer. We're dealing with something supernatural here. It's the cacad... There's something wrong with this building, I can tell you. Ever since I...
Sounds familiar.
Truly so? Perhaps the dark energies are leeching off you. You should... It's not good to talk about the curse, not in detail.
Wow. Void, such wraiths may prove a formidable enemy. Suit up.
Yes. I've contacted numerous parapsychologists. The wards help to keep the doom at bay and protect us against the darkness that lies for... Oh, this! No, it's a special Himian amulet. There are numerous spells cast throughout the store. I had the books anointed with the different inducements. Yes, the Simonees are very crafty, and their wards are extremely powerful.
The woman before you scans...
Oh, yes? How's my precious doing?
The woman before you scans